All right, man. Torture Talk. Hmm. How y'all doing, man? Hope everybody's good. Hope everybody's doing great. This is Torture Talk. You know what it is, man. So the host is out right now. He's on vacation. So I'm here to fill in for him. I'm his doppelganger. So just to let you know, a couple of shows will be coming out, and all that good stuff. So this is just a hologram. Just to let you know. It's just a hologram. You didn't even see my hand go by, did you? Right, because it's a hologram. Can't see. I don't have any hands. So, let's get to it, man. So today's episode, Drake has canceled his show. And I'm gonna tell y'all why he's canceling his shows, because a good portion of people, he's not getting the results that he think he should get. See, the thing is, Drake feels as though Drake feels as though that he's bigger than what he believes he is. And I think that he had got a reality check. He's still big, but I think he wants to be bigger than what he really is. So before we get into that, I got to get the other guy. Ooh, you see the hand? It's not really a hand though. Legendary Spill, this is Torture Talk. If you like the content, please consider subscribing. If you're new here, let me work for your subscription today. All the beautiful, single, sexy ladies, put one in the chat. All the fellas, y'all know the final ones that just don't harass them. I don't sell no merch, but I do have content absolutely free. But if you want to leave a donation, link is in the description or right here, Cash App. No more PayPal to call me the Hidden Gem. 1,300 subscribers, over 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18,000. And yes, I am the King of the North. Let me know what kingdom you are from. 18,601 to be exact. I'm trying to get to 19. I'm trying to get to 25,000. Once I get to 25,000, that is a quarter of 100,000. Yes. And once I get to 250,000, that's a quarter of a million. Then I'm going to get to a million. So help me get to 25,000. Once I get to 25,000, yeah, I'm going to give away a nice size cash prize. Trust me. So, all right. So let's get it, man. Let's get to it. Let's do it. All right, man. So this comes courtesy of Fantastic Hip Hop. Thank you so much for being here with me today. OT show will be coming up Monday night or Tuesday morning. Y'all will be seeing a different setting, just to let you know. So you'll be prepared for it. Don't be freaking out. Say, oh my God. You know what I'm saying? And I'm probably going to do another show on the beach. I might do another one. So I'm not sure yet. But yeah, so let's get to it, man. Let's do it.
Now, when it comes to Drake, well, if you are ready to see how the Drake A Wish Foundation is getting shut down and his current tour is already in big trouble right after just starting, be sure to leave a like and subscribe. And now really, as after the mess and disaster that turned out to be the Anita Max Win Tour's strange issues which caused it to end abruptly, are now already repeating on Drake's new set of loser link-up conventions, and that was just a few months ago? Well, things are seriously getting concerning for the 40-year-old man who wants to be called the boy, as now with Drake and Party Next Door's Some Special Shows for You tour, well, now just a few shows into this thing and in a time where Drake is trying to leave the boardrooms and at least give his fans the impression that he is getting back to work, whether it's with generic Central C collabs, or by just making hour-long videos where he is filming a chase scene with Pinocchio, well, now regardless of how we want to look at Drake, the one thing that at least seemed clear from all of these efforts he is making right now is that he is trying, after all of the losing and awful.
I'm telling you, every day I think about this. That is not Kendrick chasing him. I think people just wanted to be Kendrick, but I think it's because I seen a theory that somebody said that the next Drake song may be called Pinocchio, and he's going to be calling out all the lies that happened throughout the battle. Now, see, here's my biggest issue with this whole thing. Now, I definitely think that Drake should be more introspective now in his music, 100%. I think he has no other choice. He's going to get left behind. He can be the hit maker all he wants, but you see how that works. Drake hasn't had a number one hit since 2023. So you see how this works for him. He has to grow. Even him, he has to grow. I think that if this song is called Pinocchio and he is talking about Kendrick, I think he's going to try to explain everything that happened throughout the whole battle and what happened. But I honestly believe it's too late for that because, see, once you open that door back up, now you opening the door for Kendrick to say some things again. And I don't think you want him to do that. I think that Drake, to be honest, I think Drake should call out his own flaws. He wins if he does that. He doesn't beat Kendrick, but he wins the people. Because if he says, hey, I know I did this, I know I did that. I know I did this with your wife. I know I did that. If he's just honest about everything, then whatever happens from here forward would have to be a little bit different. You know what I'm saying? You couldn't just come at him straight up no more. You know what I'm saying?
Things that he has done. Well, despite all of that, with this combination of new music coming out, content to annoy all of us with, and then shows which are trying to win back whatever people would still be willing to go to a Drake concert in 2025, well, Drake really is now trying to make this big effort to win back whoever he possibly can. And now when it comes to people supporting him and the remaining actual fans who would still want to go to an OVO karaoke fest, which they are out there, well, now for these people who just are obsessed with the most passive, pacifying, and mid-music ever, well, seemingly now Drake does not even want to keep these people around and really take proper care of the people who have really still stuck around with him no matter what. Because now with what Drake...
I mean, I'll be honest with y'all. I seen some of the highlights of some of the shows that he did, the Wireless Fest, and I seen the highlights of I seen the highlights of something else he did. And there was some joints I thought was cool, but I see why Drake doesn't do stadiums now. I really do. And I'm not saying that to be smart or funny. I don't think that his music resonates in stadiums as well as they resonate in arenas, smaller crowds. I think Drake is better at smaller crowds than he actually is with giant crowds. And I seen that at the Wireless Fest. I mean, people were more focused on saying F Kendrick than actually his own music. So let's go.
Just did with less than a day before an upcoming show on this SSS for You tour was really one of the most baffling moves that I have seen in terms of just touring, especially in this time and in a lot of ways. Because to be honest, when we really look at what Drake did, this is one of the worst show cancellations that we have seen in quite a while, as now what has just come out is that Drake's concert, which was originally scheduled in Manchester for July 28th, has been canceled. And now the reason that the arena and Drake's representatives have given for this is, and I'm going to directly quote this, due to unforeseen ferry schedule and travel logistics, tomorrow's performance in Manchester on July 28th has been rescheduled. And now with this, well, now while maybe if there were some travel...
So what y'all think that is? Some people saying, from what I'm reading, some people are saying that he don't really feel it like that no more. And he's only doing this because he has to. Some people saying that he really did have scheduling, conflictions. I believe that, I'll just be honest, I believe that maybe it was a schedule confliction. He has 81 shows lined up, somebody said. I don't know if that's actually true or not. But if he has 81 shows and he's canceling them right now, then yeah. If they really saying that he really doesn't feel like doing it anymore, I mean, to be honest with you, Drake should be in the studio, or he should just take a break.
Issues and Drake was in another city or area and this was all happening, it could make sense on why this show would not be going down. Well, now, in spite of this, as you can literally see for yourself, that when we look at the logistics of this tour, Drake has literally been in Manchester for the past few days, as he did shows here on the 25th and then also the 26th. Well, then, how can there possibly be travel issues that you and your team could not figure out some sort of a solution for? Because this just does not make sense. Because, really, the amount of people that Drake is responsible for getting to this show, considering that the shows are at the same arenas they have been at, is in terms of one of the most hectic.
I also think that Drake is actually struggling mentally. I think that this is this toll, this battle has taken a toll on him. He might be trying to cover it up, or people might cover it up for him, but he's really affected by this battle. You can tell by his emotional rants that he be going on and stuff like that. I think that he wants so much love from everybody that I feel like he just sometimes says some things just to get by, to convince himself. But I just don't. I don't see like I can tell. I can tell. I can. When I'm listening to him talk, I can tell that he is really messed up inside. He's really messed up.
Parts of the music business in touring one of the most simplest things to do, because your crew is still getting a rest because the stage remains set up and there's nothing they have to do in terms of building it and taking it apart, which is one of the worst and most time constraining things about touring. And pretty much when then you just realize that the artist and the team who actually goes through with all of the other behind the scenes things of the show had to be there and everything else was already sorted out. All of this just doesn't make sense, and it does not add up once again, and just like the weird cancellation of the Anita Max Win Tour shows, really with the way touring works and with how carefully they plan out these events, especially with such high profile names like Drake, you don't just cancel a show within this way unless something sudden happened, and now as Drake is still clearly
The one thing I will say is Kendrick did really destroy this man. And I just got to tell you, Drake fans, I kind of can understand why y'all would think that Drake would beat Kendrick, but you can't always fall back on your numbers when it comes to real MCs. That don't matter. Kendrick Lamar is one of those MCs that you can't put him in that same place as a nobody. You can't. He just has he has a movement just like Drake, or even bigger at this point. And you just get to see, you see how the decline is happening right before your eyes when it comes to Drake. And I think a lot of y'all want to hold on to this hope and this dream that Drake is going to be back on top. Drake going to get another number one. He's going to get another number one. I mean, he's that big. But it's going to be very difficult. You have to understand. It's going to be difficult. Very difficult.
and being his lame old self, as we have been able to see, as he's still making TikToks, being seen in public, listening to music, and making cringe videos for Drake, which Drake has really been embarrassing himself more than ever with. Well, now, with all of this, suddenly what we are seeing is that there is clearly nothing personal that changed Drake's plans, so suddenly, and really understanding that, it only leaves us with two more potential reasons for why this show could have been canceled, which now, if this ending was like the Anita Max Win Tour's end, well, that would be over low ticket sales, seemingly, and now as they did give similar reasoning, all in terms of trying to use this idea of travel issues and logistics for the reasoning of why these shows were not going to happen. Although, of course, again, when we look at this in reality, these shows were planned out for months and months, and all of these things, including a travel itinerary, were established before these things were even announced. Well, again, that just cannot make sense within almost any way you try to put it. And now with how these shows seem to look, and now by how many people were supposed to go to this show and are just mad at Drake, which you can see online, these people are seriously mad as Drake has ruined their plans. Well, overall, with just seeing,
I could kind of understand why he's saying, because it takes a lot of it takes a lot. I remember one time, me and my boys, when we used to ride, we had a group called Shadow Company, and it was a group like Wu-Tang, but it was groups within a group. So we had Shadow Company, then we had Straight Fatalities, FOD, Vietnam, Sore Losers, Iron Eagle. You know what I'm saying? What was the other group? The Acolytes. You know what I'm saying? Like, it was a group within groups. I mean, it was a group that was inside of groups within inside one organization, shadow company. You know what I'm saying? And that's basically what it was. We did a show. I swear to you, I'm not making this up. It was 70 of us at the show. It was more of us at the show than the crowd. But we did a show in PA, somewhere in PA. We did a show, and that might have been the greatest day of my life. One of the greatest days of my life. We did a show, and it takes a lot. And this was just us. I'm not nowhere big as Drake. I can understand when he does a concert like this that is set up, and then you break it down. And you have to cancel it and all the stuff that people put up. Yeah, that's a headache. That's a headache and a half. So I understand exactly what you're talking about. We didn't even put nothing up. And only like 3 people didn't show up. And it was like a big thing because of 3 people. We had 70-something people with us. It was crazy.
All the backlash Drake is getting for these people who took off work and made their schedules to travel here to see this show at this very moment, and now it has messed them all up. To be honest with this, I don't think that ticket sales are the reason, and now really with this, which in actuality we are seeing such a direct and short notice of a cancellation, which is now messing up real people's schedules, lives, and even pockets, because people come out to these places, get hotels, travel, and all of that, and now you did it all for nothing. Well, ultimately, what you just have to wonder now and really start to think is seriously up with Drake. Because really, let's just say this show is filling up and a lot of people were going. Why would you do this with no good reason, which has become clear that there really wasn't, and the answer we have gotten is complete and utter lies? Really, when you just think about this a little more, it really does ultimately expose Drake's biggest problem as a whole and why he has really been one of the worst things that we have seen in terms of a star for both music and, more importantly, hip-hop ever. And now what I mean by this and why Drake...
Yeah, Drake has become a very polarizing figure. Before this battle, he was who he was. But I think now, I won't even say people hate Drake. I won't gonna say people despise Drake. I just think people just don't like Drake. I think a lot of people just don't like him. They just don't like him. And not because they don't like him because he's rich. They don't like him because he's successful. I just think people just, you ever met a person and he just turn you off? Like you talk to them one time and you like, man, this motherfucker. I mean, like you could just tell, you know what I'm saying? It's just not one real bone in their body. And I think that just Drake coming from his background and don't get me wrong, I know a lot of thorough niggas in the suburbs, so don't even try it. Don't try to run up in the suburbs thinking that, yeah, I know a lot of thorough niggas in the suburbs. It's not even, trust me, it's not even, it'll put you in the ground. But I'm talking about just his character and who he really is. I think it's just, I don't know, he just rubbed me the wrong way. I don't know him personally, but just the way he carries himself, from what I see, it's just, I can understand why people don't like Drake. I can really understand why. But I can also understand why people love him so much.
Ultimately canceled this show is because this guy is just straight up lazy and really does not care about anything other than himself and this little petty bubble that he exists within. Because honestly, with Drake just putting off this show and then other shows are getting rescheduled and you are just sinking your own tour for no apparent reason, this truly does just seem like a commitment issue at this point. And like, are you doing this out of straight laziness? Because for a guy like Drake, who has already been in this city and all you do is flex so you can get anything open at any time and how you have all these private jets and stuff like that, how all of a sudden is an issue with a ferry that people are still traveling around and getting to the show regardless of what's on your end, the real reason that is stopping you and the people who need to be at the show from getting to the arena to play within a venue that is already set up for exactly what you need to do. And now once again, as we are seeing Drake just cancel these shows once again, and this will make over 5 shows in this era where he has been doing these shows and running away from the US just not happening at all or going down the way they were supposed to. Well, now, as all this is happening, while at the same time, Kendrick Lamar has never canceled a single one of his shows on the Grand National Tour, and he has been out there in the rain or shine since April, making these incredible moments throughout the entire world now. One of itself, no matter where you
That part right there is going to really, really haunt Drake. Is the fact that Kendrick Lamar is doing shows in the rain, dog. It ain't nothing stopping him, bro. He's going. I really think that that's gonna hurt Drake. Not the fact that Kendrick's doing shows in the rain. It's the fact that Kendrick Lamar's his work ethic is just unmatched. You realize this guy, he's done the most stadiums out of any male rap artist of all time. I think The Weeknd and him, The Weeknd and Drake, The Weeknd and Kendrick have done more than most people would do in their career in the last 5 years. It's unbelievable.
Want to bring the Drake and Kendrick debate and everything around it, when you see how Kendrick performs these shows that are bigger and bigger than what Drake has ever been able to do, even at his prime, and he just shows up every night and does what people come for, and Drake is just calling in and out of work like the worst coworker you have ever had. Well, once again, we are seeing why so many things in the entire music industry are the way they are, and really for Kendrick Lamar, just why he has ascended to this place that I'm sorry Drake, even in his prime, was never close to. Because again, really, with Kendrick just always showing up and never sinking costs and expectations with these massive performances that he is doing where so much is on the line. Because again, even in terms of the optics for this, being the first rapper to bring hip-hop to a stadium tour, you are serving as an entire grand statement for the genre at large and what its potential could be in this setting. Well, ultimately, what Kendrick is doing is showing both the industry and people that he can be a trusted leader in whatever category you want to put him in, because he brings no drama whatsoever to the production of these shows. Which again, even with a cancellation or rescheduling something, everybody loses from these things. And as somebody who used to personally work in touring, I will say now for this team and everyone on the tour who is going to lose what's going into their pockets over this, so then the people who came out here and spent all they did and now they are going to have to come back to see Drake next month, so then the employees of these venues who now have to come into work on another day that they were not supposed to, and this could mess up a lot of people's plans and schedules. Well, overall, this is just not fun, and another moment of Drake not just being a Karen or anything like that, but being blatantly unprofessional and showing why he should have never been able to be the face of hip-hop for as long as he was. But
That's true. That's true. We got to understand. Drake was the face of hip hop for a long time, and I don't think he deserved it. I think a lot of y'all love Drake because of his numbers. That's it. His music is cool. He got some good ones, but I think y'all love him because of the numbers. And I think y'all obsessed with numbers. And I think people are getting past that. I think a lot of people don't really care about numbers no more. They just want good music. And I think we are in a space right now where you should be asking for good music, whether you Drake fans or not. If you're a Drake fan and you only obsessed with numbers, you need to ask yourself, how did he get there? And if he hasn't reached these number ones again, it could be because he ain't making good music. It could be because of that. Not to say that every song that people do is great because it's number one or goes to number one. I'm just saying.
at least with Drake still putting these lame old games on while everybody is watching him and he is trying to make a last effort comeback, well, I guess everyone is seeing just how much he is failing compared to his rival in Kendrick Lamar in every sense of the word now, because really, as one guy is selling out stadiums every night and putting on some of the best shows that people have ever seen, and the other is canceling karaoke out of laziness. Again, I'll ask, who won the beef? As now with all this said, let me know. What do you think about...
All right, man. You already know what it is, so let's get it. So here we go again, man. Canceling shows. At this point, Drake, I don't understand why you're doing the things you do. You're all over the place. This album rollout, more people are going to be more curious about what you're doing next, and actually not the music. They don't really, a lot of people don't even care. I actually want to hear what he has in store, because I think that pressure bust pipes. I think that when you put somebody in a corner the way he was in a corner for the last couple of months, or maybe he feels as though he wasn't in a corner. I don't think Drake feels as though has been pressured enough to do some great stuff. But we're going to see what happens. He's going to come with some good rhymes. I already know that. Everybody knows that. But are they going to be forgettable? Are they going to be something that he just does just for now? Is it going to be something you can hold on to? Is it going to be anything memorable? You know what I'm saying? So, but let's get it. So let's, like I said, thank y'all for joining me. I appreciate y'all. I'll see y'all on the next one, man. Peace. Bye. Bye. There we go. Come on. This thing. All right. That was a good.